Today is my first professional golf tournament of the year. I'm playing the Yuengling Open at Fort Myers Country Club. Flew all the way over here from Arizona to see what I can do. See if I compete with the guys that do this full time. Before I get into the round, let's talk about my expectations, my kind of hopes for this round and this whole tournament. My biggest thing, this event isn't always the fastest rounds. The first day is a pro-am, and the second day you play with the rest of the pros. So today I'm expecting the round to be kind of slow. I go off late, 12:50. Shouldn't have a problem with light, but you never know. My goal for this round, though, is just to stay focused through the whole thing. Sometimes I just lose focus, hit a shot where I'm not really stuck on what shot I want to hit, kind of in between. Or even sometimes, it sounds really dumb, but going up to tap-ins and just like whacking them, I don't know why. Sometimes I just don't think about it and I get a little horseshoe flip out or something like that. So we're just going to stay focused. We're going to mark everything. We're going to line everything up. That's all I want to do today. If I do all that, I think the score will come out good. If I don't, I'm going to have some bad scores. That's just how it goes for me. So, goal is to stay focused the whole time. I'm not going to say like, oh, I want to shoot this number, whatever, because, that just never ends well. So, stay focused the whole time, and let's see what we can do. Let's get out there to the first tee.
Yeah. Oh.
So let's talk about first tee nerves. Honestly, on this tee shot, wasn't nervous at all. It's a tee shot that fits me well. It's basically drivable. It's a green that you want to miss right of it to have an easier chip. And if you haven't watched any of my videos, I tend to miss driver right. So just aim way left, swing hard. It was going to end up front to right of the green. So that's what I did. The chip, on the other hand, was something that I was absolutely nervous about. Not because it was a tournament and I wanted to start off well or anything like that, but just because the mental warfare that goes on in my head when I have a chip that isn't perfect is insane. Basically, when I have these bad lies on chipping, pitching, whatever, I fight the do not chunk it, do not blade it, do not all this stuff. And especially in Bermuda grass down in Florida, it's really grainy, so it's really easy to just stab the club in the ground and hit it really, really short. You're basically chipping again, having the same situation. So it's something that, bothers me a lot. I think it bothers a lot of people and something I'm struggling with, but I ended up chipping it on the green, landed a little short of what I wanted, but we'll take a par to start off the, beginning of the tournament. So let's keep going. Now, obviously, 3 pars to start. Nothing too great, nothing too terrible. It's been pretty stress-free. Been a pretty smooth round so far until we get to hole 4. Now the shot I just hit, it was a very difficult shot, but it wasn't so difficult that I should have chunked it like I did. Like I said earlier, the mental warfare that goes on my head when I have shots around the green, especially when the lie's not amazing, is tough. This lie wasn't that bad. It was just a really difficult shot. I kind of talked myself into not blading it, so I chunked it. It's kind of what happens. The next one though, so what ended up happening, my ball rolled down, the guy I was playing with just flubbed his chip, rolled up, hit my ball, so I had to replace it. Where I replaced it, like it had to go back where it was. It was dead into the green. I could very well see it was into the green because I got way down there to place it back where it was. Just talked myself into, guiding it, stabbing it in the ground, chucking it, That's just, again, the mental warfare that goes on in my head. Somehow I managed to do a little better on the next one. And then can the 20-footer for double, which honestly was a little bit of a confidence booster because that could have easily been a triple. Double just sounds a little bit better. Now this one, I gotta say, I've never been so confident over a putt. I'm sure everyone's felt this before, but this one I got over it, and in my head I was like, if this ball gets to the hole, it's going in the middle of the cup. Something about it just felt so good. Went right in the center. Just what I was hoping for. Good little bounce back after that horrendous double. So now let's get on to the round. Let's get this moving. Now, last hole I said I had a bounce back. This is, I guess, the bounce back to bad golf. To defend myself here, the tee shot didn't exactly go where I wanted, but the miss is left on this hole. If you are right, you have absolutely no shot. Just stuck in the trees, have to hit a punch shot. There's bunkers in the way. So if you're left, you generally have a wedge that goes over the trees. This one, though, the lie wasn't amazing. I was sitting a little bit in a dip, so to access the back of the ball was really tough. I basically had to control thin it, kind of, or like basically pick it to try and hit this solid because, again, there was a lip of grass right behind it. The last thing that did go on in my head, though, was don't blade this into the tree. So what do? You chunk it in the tree. Again, the mental warfare that goes on in my head is something I'm really struggling with, but that's what we did there. Chunked it in the tree, kind of just laughed it off because it was just so bad. These are just some shots that I just couldn't tell you the last time I've hit, but I did it here. So we're through 9. Obviously not a great round, not a great 9, but we've had some positives. We've had a lot of negatives, but we're just trying to stay level head here. We've made a couple bad bogeys coming down the stretch so far, but we just got to try and ride the ship, start giving myself more looks. And that was kind of the plan going into the back 9, just play smart golf, give yourself some looks at birdie. If they go in, they go in. Now I want to defend myself on this shot here. I dropped the club and it went to about 20 feet. When I made contact here, I thought I boned it 40 yards over the green. I mean, I don't know how I found a groove on this one, but I did. I was so confident this ball was going to land back edge of the green or the downslope behind the green and just take off, and I was going to have some impossible 40-yarder, but ended up landing short enough, somehow found a groove, landed on an upslope. So it ended up in a fine spot, but definitely pretty poor for a wedge. Granted, I did lay up into a tree that ended up in the rough, but should have been able to hit a lot better shot than that. Now 14 here got a good story for you. So the playing partner I had in this, I'm playing with a bunch of AMs in this round because it is a pro-am, really struggled on this hole. It's a par 3 Donald Ross green, so everything's raised, call it 4 feet, and everything runs off very severely. The guy I was playing with hit it over the green, onto the next tee box, boned it over the green to the front, into a bunker, didn't get out of the bunker, bladed that over the green again, bladed over the green again, and me and the guy I was riding with, it's bad to laugh at someone in this situation, but we were really trying hard to hold it in because it's just funny. Because little backstory, he's been quite angry at his game, and now it is just completely blowing up. So it's very funny. This putt, I had a 12, 13 footer for birdie. I backed off it a couple times because I just couldn't stop laughing. Thought I had a reasonable read, but just couldn't really stay focused over it. I was just trying to hold in laughs. Again, sorry to the guy that was doing that. I'm sure that was frustrating, but it was kind of comical to us. Sorry if that makes me a bad person, but I found it funny. Ended up missing the putt though, so should have stayed more focused, but par's par.
Right over that tree.
Beauty. Nice. That's a nice one.
Now this chip here on 17, it's a tough spot. When I played a practice run here, I pretty much told myself long is really difficult. And sure enough, caught a little bit of flyer out of the rough, bounced it over the green into this really difficult spot. Somehow felt a little more confident over this one than the rest of them because everything along this green is super into the grain, but ended up hitting a really good shot. I pretty much knew that if I went for the high shot, I was just gonna flub it. So I went for the, hit it with the leading edge, kind of bounce it up there. 2 bounces rolled up, ended up going to about tap in range. I had the hand raised from one of the guys thinking it was gonna go in, but it didn't, you know. But from back there, I'm taking up and down every time. It was just something that gave like a lot more confidence. All right, so let's talk about that round. Just finished up, just got back to the house, made birdie on the last, fist pumped for DFL. Love that from me. Honestly, you're probably thinking like you're nervous from tournaments. I don't think I was nervous over anything because it was a tournament. It was just like the mental warfare that goes on in my head that happens on normal rounds as well. I talked myself into hitting a lot of bad shots. Some of those shots that I hit today were a little bit because of a bad lie. The one I hit on 6, that I chunked a wedge into a tree, that was a terrible lie. Do I think I could have pulled that shot off better? Yes. Did I talk myself into chunking it? Kind of. I pretty much went, don't blade it into this tree. So I chunked it. But like the chunked chips on 2 holes before that was just me going through mental warfare. So tomorrow we're going to just try our best to like fake confidence into the shots. I mean, try and get away from like don't do this and a little more of like this is what's going to happen. So that's what we're going to see. It's what we're going to try and do. I mean, technically I'm only 10 back. Probably need to shoot like 7 under, 8 under to like make any money because it's going to be a lot harder tomorrow, but it's possible. Just looking for a good round. Just kind of, honestly, if I get back to even, I'll be happy. If I can get under par, I'll be even happier. It'll be a win. Just got to like figure out how to be mentally tough, a little better mentally. So we'll see what I can do tomorrow. Let's get on over to that, see if we can do something better in today.